What's up, everybody? Professional wrestler Chris Wilde back with another video on Eagles News Now. Now, a couple days ago marked the 40th birthday of former NFL and Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Michael Vick. Now, with that being said, I wanted to talk about my number one Michael Vick moment in Philadelphia Eagles history. But before I do that, I've got to kick this enormous elephant out of this room. I got to kick his ass out of this room right now because I can't talk about Michael Vick without talking about his past, even though I want this to be a very positive video. Let's go back to 2001 when Michael Vick comes into the league, takes it by storm. The most ultimate player since Randall Cunningham. This guy was an absolute video game character. The player you wanted to be in Madden. I mean, speed was there. Arm strength was there. He was absolutely dynamic and was just amazing on the field. Something that you had to watch. I mean, no matter who he was playing, you had to watch the game. That's the kind of guy Michael Vick was on the field. Outside the field, another story. In 2007, it came out that Michael Vick had part of a major dogfighting ring, and just the things that were done to these animals on his properties were absolutely brutal and horrific, and something that a lot of people, even to this day, still have not forgiven him for. He did 21 months in a federal prison. And look, a guy like me that works in law enforcement besides wrestling, and sees guys get second chances all the time and absolutely ruin them, Michael Vick took his second chance and made the absolute most out of it. In 2009, after 21 months in prison, he meets up with, and I'm sorry if I'm ruining this guy's name or butchering his name, Wayne Pichel, president of the Humane Society, and right away gets to work with being an advocate against animal cruelty, something he still does to this day. Also in 2009, I remember it like it was yesterday, watching a preseason game against the Cincinnati Bengals. I believe it was announced that the Philadelphia Eagles had signed Mike Vick. Now at this point, nobody knew if Vick was ever going to play another game in his career, but Jeffrey Lurie and Andy Reid took a chance on Michael Vick. And Lurie, who was distraught as all hell if you watch that press conference, said that not only was Vick going to have to be a good player in the field to stay with the team, but he was going to have to show that he was taking strides on being a better person as well. And look, Vick didn't just talk the talk, he walked the walk. He really did, and turned his life around to the point where if you ask him today and he had to do it all over again, he would have went right back to prison because it changed who he was as a person. He's got two different foundations that as we speak, the Michael Vick Foundation and then just the Vick Foundation, both deal with underprivileged children, helping underprivileged children and at-risk children so that they don't make the mistakes that he made later on in his life. And this is a guy who had a $62 million contract, was on top of the world, gets signed by the Eagles as a third-string quarterback behind Donovan McNabb and Kevin Kolb. During that 2009 season, Andy Reid kind of used him as a decoy, used him all over the place as a wide receiver, a halfback. He switched in and out with McNabb, was really awkward at times. But Andy Reid said, look, when Vick's on the field, it changes everything, makes defenses think, which it did. He had a game in 2009 against the Atlanta Falcons where he went back to Atlanta, had a throwing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and just a pretty good game in general. And then what I saw when I really thought that Michael Vick was back was during that horrible loss to the Cowboys in the playoffs, McNabb's last game, Vick throws effortlessly, like 76-yard touchdown to Jeremy Maclin, and I'm like, man, this guy, there's something there. 2010, Kevin Kolb comes in, supposed to be the guy. You knew he wasn't the guy. I mean, there's something about the eye test that still rings true today. You could just tell who's going to be the guy and not, and he just wasn't, never for me at least. And Vick was eventually going to get his chance, and it came in that first game, that Kelly Green game. Kevin Kolb gets knocked out. Michael Vick comes in, has 103 yards rushing. Eagles still lose the game, but he showed flashes of the old Michael Vick. You saw it. It was evident there. And then he just went on to have a hell of a run with the Eagles. Never won a playoff game for us, but man, some terrific moments. And I was really weighing two different games here to talk about. One being the Monday Night Massacre against McNabb's Redskins when Vick had like 6 touchdowns total. They put up 59 points, obliterated the Redskins, absolutely obliterated them. What's new there, right? But the game I want to talk about that Vick, that I'll always remember, is Miracle in the Meadowlands 2. And I know when we talk about that, we talk about Deshaun Jackson picking up that punt and running it in to win the game. But I think about Michael Vick and what he did to get those 4 unanswered touchdowns. I mean, the Eagles were down 21 points in the fourth quarter against a really good defense. And Michael Vick, whenever he's on the field, you always have a chance. And like I said, 4 unanswered touchdowns. He finishes the day 21 of 35, 242, 3 touchdowns. Here's what got me: 130 rushing yards with a touchdown in that fourth quarter. His feet and his legs completely stifled that Giants defense, and those big chunk yards he got helped the Eagles get those points quick and win that game on December 19th, Week 15, 2010. Just the ultimate Michael Vick moment and Michael Vick game for me. He had a bunch of other highlight reel type games. And he'll always be remembered as an exciting guy for me, as a guy that took a second chance in the city of brotherly love and made the most of it. Right now, he is an analyst for ESPN. He's doing some broadcasting. He had some forgettable stints with the Jets and the Steelers. But he was good and exciting here. He definitely was, before Nick Foles eventually took over for him. I want to say 2014-ish. I could be wrong there, guys. But that's all. I just wanted to talk about Vick and my Vick moment. Please leave your comments. What were your favorite Vick moments as an Eagles fan? And I know there are some of you that are not going to forgive him and still don't forgive him for what he did. I'm a dog lover. I'm a dog owner. I'll never forget what he did, but I can definitely forgive a guy that took the strides to make the right moves and is, again, still speaking against animal cruelty today and doing a lot for the underprivileged youth. You got to give him props for that. But yeah, again, I'll never forget what he did, and it was horrible. And if you don't like him and you still can't forgive him, you have the absolute right to do that, and I support your opinion on that as well. I'm just on the other side of the fence for today, and I wanted to bring something positive. And look, you cannot watch Miracle in the Meadowlands 2 highlights enough. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks to all the new subscribers and the old subscribers. We're grinding towards 1,000. Hopefully by the season start we can get there. I'll see you guys later, and as always, go Birds.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
I need Eagle Nation to stay